Pardon my cat, she's in heat. But I wanted to talk about my status, which this is uh, uh, April 3rd, and I'm making, I'm posting this on like the 9th or the 12th or something. But I've been trying to take a break as best as I can to recharge my entire system because this is where humanity is. It shows it in the stars, and you can listen to other astrologers talking about it, the effects. I mean, well, what Mars points at. But I just got the vision of MASH. You know, the movie The MASH, the series MASH. It's about army people. You know, an army barrack or whatever. It's particularly the medical side of it, where whatever, nothing about that, but how pointless it really is, really, because Mars and Cancer is a pointless place to be, and I'm just so sick and tired of it. We all are, and by April 19th, it's going to move out of Leo. But see, I I'm experiencing. I tried to tell you this on my last video that wears this funky shirt like this. I may or may not put it up. If I did, then like this video. At least put an emoji up because I'm feeling very reluctant to communicate at a time when really actually no, we should keep communicating. You know, I'm just giving up on something because I've been attacked. You know, your communications alone, of course, it's being attacked. Why? Because you can resonate through it. You can cause resonation through it, and then now talk about organizing into something that is powerful, more powerful than any of the associations or your corporations or your companies or anything like that. Yeah, there is organization that's already here. If you look into virgin nature or just go up in an airplane, I don't know what it's going to take place, but can you imagine what virgin nature is? Yeah, we need to change these words. I was trying to tell this woman who, and all of these people that do have a lot more um, followers, and they are running seminars, and they are not using their language accurately enough to make a difference, period. It's just they turn into an advertisement, right? And they're trying to make money. Pardon me while I go and let my cat out. I did this last time in my other video. I'm just trying to let her be happy. She can get over here on the deck. But what happens is that, well, you know, she's a special cat, and she doesn't have any back legs strength. She doesn't jump. She doesn't jump like a normal cat. She crawls in. She seems to know that she I don't know. She doesn't know that she can't jump. I guess she likes to climb. She tries to climb, but she what I mean is she literally goes up like a sloth. See, some cats don't have to climb until they jump 9 feet in the air and they can get up there, and then they start climbing. But this cat just starts at the bottom and slithers up. It's weird. Okay, so anyway, God, I hate to get. I'm sorry. See, that's the cat is coming from the design of the Matrix, which is the part of the timeline which is complete distraction for me anyway. And it's like, okay, I'm getting sick and tired of it myself because I've been distracted. It's looking like we're all distracted, though. See, we're all distracted all of our lives. If you manage to focus on one thing for at least 25 years, good for you. Did you take it 35 years or 40? Wow. See, because that's your real life right there, because you're living from 1 to 60 or 90 or hopefully more, right? If you want to get old and experience that craziness, really, the ideal is to have your soul grow bigger, grow grow out of your body. You don't want to have your body outgrow your soul. Well, anyway, my cat, you know, she's back and forth, and pure distraction, really. It's remarkable because the world is that. You know, you're like, did you get every bit of the distractions hitting you? Because why? Well, because you're chosen, man. You were onto something right when you were born. I am trying to stay focused enough on some things that you have questions. You could be curious, and if you're using the computer correctly, then you have had your curiosity answered. It was like, oh my God, it was like a God that sat there and said, no, you did see that. That was correct that you had thought that was the way you might have thought it was. See, for years you would think, well, like for me, I remember I was 5 years old and I was questioning my mom. Really, I began to understand that she's getting all riled up and emotional about the political parties, right? That so and so got presidency over so and so or something, and it was going up and down. I noticed, but then I click onto it. Well, this is part of our bullshit here, and I assessed it. By the time I was 6 or 7, I just decided, no, that doesn't make sense. That's not even my. I can't adopt that mentality because what I'm looking at with my intelligence is that it makes absolutely no sense at all to think that all of this that I know that I remember, you can have a memory beyond your childhood, right? Because you're kind of part of the organism now, and you can just kind of go around and say, well, no, you look on television, you see New York City or even Egypt, or whatever, all of this stuff, but mankind going on, no way is that racket being held together by a political party or leaders that come in and out of office every 4 to 8 years. If you think that they have anything to do with the conditions you are finding as a civilization, down to anything, and especially whatever the hell the puppet scene is, which is, again, we'll talk about distraction. You you're not thinking on your own, babe. You need some time alone. You need to. Yeah, I don't know about you. Yeah, interesting. But I did encounter somebody, was it last September or October? Very difficult time when Mars went into Cancer, and I'm feeling very unsure that, and I still feel that way, and it's only because the time we are in right now, it's just some of us are going to activate. It's generational. Generational. It's not degenerating. We see the Aries people, they're the only ones that just, we are not going to degenerate, babes, and we're not aiming to degenerate you at all. No. There's a heavy duty misunderstanding going on as to what narcissism is or whatever, what is actually happening. But see, you want to stick to a feeling, you want to stick to reality. Woo! Man, that's the problem that you don't have, that you do have with your narcissist, is that, hi, little baby, is that they don't include reality in on the scene. No, it's vacuous. So there's where I am having a hard time. I'm honestly needing help, and I'm stopping asking for help. That's why I was making this video. It's like, then that's not right, because I should, out of all the times I need to really make this work for me, it's like it's trying to push through. I was looking at astrology, how Mars is, well, it's heading up to, all I know is that it goes into opposition to Pluto after it goes into Leo here on the 19th. But right before then, the week before the 19th, just some days before, um, it squares my Mercury, and I can already feel the effects of it now. And this is complete mental instability that I'm handling. It'll go away. I was afraid of this. See, I've been handling it though for a long time. With the Pluto has been squaring my Mercury, and I'm getting away from that. See, that this has been. Oh, you want to talk about the last 4 years of where Pluto has been going, where when it did exactly square my Mercury, I warned everybody some 5 or 2 years before then. I was like, oh my God, have mercy. I've never really consciously been through, and it's not just any old square with Pluto um, into onto your Mercury. See, because it's at a late degree sign, it's right there at the precipice of a change. For all of humanity, we feel that change when Pluto goes into Aquarius and begins to rattle humanity. It begins to just purge out humanity. What is real, what isn't. Yeah, Pluto is God. If you want to know how you do astrology, you know that Pluto is pointing at the truth and or God. It's not Satan. It's not the underdog like that. No, they can be morphing into the underdog if there's enough darkness there. Then Pluto is like turns into the witch. You bet, and starts laughing because well you couldn't get past it. You know you couldn't get past what some negativities you can call it negativity, but really well yeah it's negativity. Period. You know it's like well there's always a negative side to everything. Equal and opposite. There's always a positive and negative side to every single thing. And you're not a very good presence if you do not consider, well, what Abraham Hicks suggests is you indulge like just 16 seconds. 16 seconds into the negative side. Think about it really intensely and hard. What could, may, possibly, might, could happen. See, because how do you even know how to get to your, you get to a contrast and then get to you what you want to get. See, I don't really follow any of that shit. I can't believe that people need to be instructed in this way. I think it's interesting now though because I did fall short of being a musician all my life, and having said that, I am hurting not playing my music a lot, and I'm trying to figure out. Well, yeah, let's get back to your feel good, Shauna. Let's get back to it. You're around people that don't really genuinely know what feeling good is. Particularly, you can tell because of the quality of the human relationships that they are conducting. It shouldn't be that you're always fighting all the time, and it's a constant bicker, and you're always fighting. It's like a pinball machine where you're just I'm sorry. There is other ways that you can get stronger other than just hovering around like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because there is work to do. I know. And getting back to the Mars and Cancer, how it's been debilitating to me. I feel a little bit of the push of organizing, like what could possibly happen for us because of Neptune going into Aries and how it affects all of us like this, babes. And I'm trying to talk to you about it. And I'm probably going to put this on. Now I know I probably said the opposite in the beginning, but I would like to be more up to date with you guys and just to tell you like the forecast. Like, do you feel where we're at now? But we're kind of putzing through. It's called dog paddling. We're just kind of dog paddling through Mars and Cancer. That's just the way I feel. I'm a very much a doer, and I don't dog paddle, babes. I'm a surfer, you know what I mean? But now it's like dog paddle time, and I've never been so exhausted emotionally in my life. Well, I can't talk about it like that. We just never been here in a place like this in our life, and it's difficult. But we're going to push through it. There's a push through happening, and if you haven't noticed, I mean, there's a part of you that needs to be just put on guard. You have to do something completely different. That's the Aries part. The Aries is just tired of having been taken advantage of in a certain way. It's pure energy, and it doesn't have to be a knockdown, drag out fight between people or even ourselves with ourselves. See, we're trying to get right with reciprocating and finding out what are we worth, and so there's where we talk about all the planets, but I keep focusing on Mars because I'm Mars ruled, and so I'm getting back to looking at Saturn because now we're going to get a lot of 0 point effects, and that's what we're handling with Neptune right now. That is that 0 point at the very beginning of the zodiac. Okay, my last video I tried to talk about 0 point, where it's like when they explain it when you die, you go to this point and you're like, wait a minute, now what's going on here? Why is it so dark? And you start to freak out and you get paranoid, and really you just break down. You say, I want love in my life, and then you start thinking maybe of your dog or something, and there comes your dog out of there's now you're in this weird place of creation. You're like, now how did that happen? And so don't get lost there. Really, that could be a trap. But see, because who wants to be with their dog for the rest of their life? Not that that's not a great idea, but no, it's kind of a trap to be attached to anything. Hello, how are you? I'm kind of Buddhist that way, and it's like, babes, there's a way to do creation of creation, and you let go of it, okay? Let go and you get it all. Just keep letting go, and you get it all. Just keep letting go, and you get it all. Just keep letting go, and you get it all. Just keep letting go, and you get it all. Did you empty your hands out? There you go. Now, I am so excited to try and do something with my hands. It's so sad. A lot of us are experiencing this though, because of AI, maybe because of people choosing to work for money, which it says, well, come and do AI. Just drop your tools and drop your skillfulness of your hands and go do this for money. See, money doesn't require us to have skills in such a way that it makes us feel fulfilled. Okay, so that's a controversy there when I'm talking about that, but no, I'm adamant in sticking up for the creative side of the human being that contributes, that does something like, say, let's just say 3 hours a day they work together over there, like over there. I have a neighborhood where I don't know what this fucking place is, by the way. I bet you anything I can overcome it if I get better donations here. I'm thinking, fuck, man, it's almost that I'm being undermined. It's just me here, and I'm being undermined. And because of the way that, see, time just goes and goes, and we're not waiting for anything. See, you're treating people the way that, what comes around goes around. Especially now with this 0 point time, it's actually too late for a lot of people, because they already showed us how they would treat our suffering, or right, for the past, how long was it that things got just combobulated with the C-19 announcement, and entrepreneurism, getting back to the hands working on, and really human contact. Don't worry about that. So I see a full round. You want to talk about a revolution, but something that restores itself, because it's like, no, what is going to sell now as far as your money is soul. And I hate to say it like that, but no, be wise. See, like what I'm doing on my social media, I hate to be like this, but no, think about it. No, if it's your friends, and if it's a possibility that you can support each other, and you're really busy with it, you know what you're doing with the actual social media itself. There's a profound reason, and only one profound reason for it. Okay. Now, if you didn't find that reason, then your reason, you have used it to counteract, or you just went blank. You haven't activated your account yet. First of all, you didn't open up an account with reality yet, so you don't know how important you don't know that enough to go on social media, and see, you don't even know how to use that, because you were actually looking for information there, when really there's an experience. Now, if you're my age, 45 or more, 50, 60, um, you should have already obligated yourself. You should have already felt the profound responsibility to yourself, your own faculties, to question what in the hell is going on here. Kind of like when I was talking to you about, is this the same video about the political parties when I was 6? And I had already determined, no, my mom, that's her choice to get all caught up into that. I don't make sense out of that, and I'm going to wait until I see maybe that something else is answered. And of course, it took 35 fucking years or more for me to finally, okay, they had computerization. I finally got on it, along with a lot of questions for me were answered. It includes 9/11. When I saw that, when I was looking at that live, um, I laughed when I saw the buildings turn into dust. It's called dustification. If you look up these videos, and if I was good enough for you guys, I would put it at the end of these videos. Judy Woods, a woman scientist, she's a forensic scientist in such a way where she investigates the aftermaths of stuff, I guess, that she can figure out what the hell. But no, she did a lot of study for us, and she just looking at the film alone. Anybody has a question, I laughed at it, because I was like, that doesn't make sense. So I had a lot of questions. So did the good journalists, but they were all shut down. So then we witnessed that. See, we went through that. I went through it. See, but I had so many questions after that. Didn't get answered until I got on the free information highway here, which is just a synthetic version of the free information highway. The real free information highway is reality. There's where you should open up an account and start getting curious. And like I said, if you're at least, well, 35 and older, you gathered up some information enough, and you're questioning things. You're curious. You're saying, well, why? Like, once, yeah, for sure, I had a question about the chemtrails, and I was like, this is so strange. I'm sitting in the sun, trying to enjoy my day, and at least I got some sun, and I always depended on that a fucking plane would fly over, or a few of them, and then the little line of clouds would expand into this massive overcast that would spread for fucking 30 miles across. And I would be just packing up by then. And it would be 2 in the afternoon, and I'll be walking out of a canyon that otherwise would have been really hot to walk out of. But see, if it was really hot at that time, I would not have left. I would have stayed there. See, and I love sitting next to the waterfall. I used to work a job in the morning. I used to go there at 5:30 in the morning. Got up when looking at stars, rain or shine, and and I opened the door, and I did what I had to do there, getting paid $11 an hour at first, doing piecework. I don't know, it wasn't much, but it was all I needed. And then by the time it was 12 noon, I just made it a point to go and hang out in the forest for a long time. I did that for 20 years, almost 20 years. I not that other things aren't happening with me, I mean, I'm really paying attention and having a great time, paying attention. And so anyway, um, getting on the internet and finding things that way instead of actually searching and filling your brains up full of shit. I don't know. You should know how to use your intuition, and it will ping to you. It's definitely God trying to help us out here, and there's just one reason and one reason only to how to use it, and that's to go off of the real live application of reality therein, which is the truth floating around, and that and this here, your screens, is a synthetic version of that. The cameras pointing out, and you see them everywhere. It's saying, yeah, no, reality's here. It's a free for all, babes. That's why they're able to do that. That's a very good thing to do as benevolence. They're doing it. Well, it was hijacked. See, benevolence doesn't say that we're going to use it against you. In such a way that, see, it's like, okay, so wait a minute. Do you realize there's a reason why that somebody is so non-self-reflecting that they don't include reality? It's a system that creates that in people, and they have hijacked reality itself, and then they put the cameras up, and they're running a business on your ass. Okay, so there's a good way to turn it all around. Is first, can you admit, does the sky exist? Are we here like almost as okay? There's a way that we can see how to get on the same page. If we can call the sky the witness, the sky is the witness. Why? Well, look at the way that the cameras can be there, and that's shining into the sky. Basically, it's just if it's not pointing into the sky, you just go down like this, and then there's all the objects that the sky embraces and contains, which is reality, God itself. If you're watching this now, you have no choice, man. You're in it now. You're in it. You're in the chaos now. And so, yeah, just breathe. It's okay. Just relax. You have no control. Never, never think you can own any of this. See, I'm experiencing Neptune going over my ascendant, and right now it's like, well, I kind of get it, but I'm gonna keep preaching it until because it's the truth. It's not gonna be something that I just preach. It's my experience. My experience. See, I don't have any help here with that, and I'm gonna have to do it all alone. What I mean is, with what, Shauna? Letting go of. I have to clear out this place. I have to just keep clearing it out for what? I don't know. I have to just create space because something is going to come. I would love for for the main thing that I'm having a problem with right now. Well, I'm not meeting the right people. I'm being tested. All right, and this is the thing that will happen with you if you didn't know. You'll be tested when you really want to get your shit on. You think you want to get something going in your life, whatever. If you want to feel safe, if you don't want your blessings to be stolen, if you don't want to be stolen from, if you don't want see, a lot of people they don't want to be hurt like that, right? They don't want to get robbed. They don't want to get stolen from. I mean, I didn't just say, see, you learn how to give and you know how to give, but no, these people can make you feel like it's never enough, right? What people, Shauna? That's the thing is, see, there's 8 billion people out there, and most all of them are not for you. Just believe it or not, you're going to find one single fucking one, maybe. See, this is what trips me out about astrology is like, no, you can find one single one that when you look, you find, you can see the most popular thing that used to be good thing, and it should come really popular now. I don't know why it's not like number one. A matchmaking service based in astrological compatibility. Now, here's where it doesn't work because it does work chemistry. It'll work chemistry wise. You want chemistry between people. If it's a one-on-one like romantic relationship where maybe okay, sex sometimes comes on the table. The man is always like, yeah, that would be a great idea. And some women that are Mars ruled are like, yeah, of course. Women, of course, are into it too. So we have with that, you can create a harmonious scene that is actual chemistry that will be able to grow. See, if there's no chemistry, nothing can grow out of it. It doesn't matter how much you fake the rest. If there's no chemistry, nothing is good. That shit that you're trying to do is a lot of work. See, the chemistry, sorry about this tone of voice, but the chemistry is the difference between a lot of work and no work at all, right? In your, getting something beautiful. Oh wow, there's a chicken out in the bush. She's probably laid some eggs and she's out there. Anyway, I don't like talking about the subject matter of men and women and the confusion there. I don't want anything to do with it. I see that now that most of all of humanity is extremely agitating. It's very agitating, and the one that's flaring up is the Taurus, Leo, Scorpio stuff. It's about our money, entertainment. See, we're not through with that. See, we have Mars opposing Pluto. Thanks for listening to all this. This is my style, is that I throw astrology in with the times we're going through. Mars is a big thing for us, and I'm Mars ruled, and so I'm piping up. Um, I'm not piping up about what I should be piping up about, because why? You make yourself vulnerable that way, and you can get attacked. You're never going to get help there. I'm here to tell you right now, you're never going to get help. The way that that humanity should step up and start helping themselves, if they can't communicate and be vulnerable and tell people exactly what it is that they need and think that they need. For me, it's something very small. See, I'm looking at having to do everything myself here, as far as everything that I own here. I can't leak anything out to people, mongrels and stuff. I feel like I need to do it all in a very unique way that benefits me. Um, of course. That's just my style. I know that there is. See, I think that there's a pitfall to the way that the mainstream does it, the rest of the people, the way they do it. See, the blueprint suggestion. No, I don't. I hear that coming at me right away. See, this is the dynamic between Aries and Capricorn. See, Aries always has something on more on Capricorn. Capricorn is the old do it by the books way. That is actually just like, you know what? That needs to be ripped up because that's a business you're running. And it's great for you to have caused that much misery and fucking a runaround for everybody, but we see a hop, skip, and a jump to the way that we can do things. And when it comes to your money system, you better watch out because the tables will turn. And it's always been this way though. See, people want to pay for the cure. They want to pay for having ran their lives to hell. They have to turn around and give money to whatever it is that restores the life that they lost from having ran for money. That's a very common thing. It's like, well, now that you've got all that money and you've ruined your body over it first, and it's not necessarily your body, but it used to be. It's the quality of the human relationships that you've conducted. In fact, you've never even had one. That's a very common thing that what is called cerebral narcissists are going through. See, they make sure they get a great career and they have an education and they're running back and forth, and they don't even know that they don't even get along with their fucking wives. See, getting back to this chemistry thing, it's like, well, can you at least do astrology? See, if it's just about that, if it's really just about that, I'm just about ready to do it. It's like, it seems like it's almost just about that because I have all of this shit here. And I think, oh, this is terrible, terrible for me to just like juggle this off and not have a single beautiful one to share it with. And I call them beautiful because I know everybody that I love is beautiful to me, right? Otherwise, those aren't my people, and they're very far and few between. And come on, it's not like every single fucking body, 8 billion people. See, getting back to how the narcissist thinks that it just happens with anybody or something. I don't know. They're faking it. Let's get back to chemistry being ignored, not really knowing what that is. They don't feel it. I don't know. See, I think that they don't. See, sadomasochists, they don't like the feeling of happiness in them. They don't like the feeling of bliss. They can't just go with uh, a continual blissful feeling. We get the feeling that there are people on this plane that they're, well, it's not just a passing phase. See, we can have a passing phase of agitation, and we certainly have been experiencing it with Mars doing its square to Chiron. And I don't ever mention this, but Black Moon Lilith. Lilith is a uh, is it a point in space or is it an object? But they include it in astrology, and I would too, because I felt it before. Well, right now it's square to Mars. It's going to be square Mars, but it's square to Pluto right now, and that's a big thing for a lot of people. Lilith is the more alive woman. It's the black moon. It's the woman that is casted out because, well, it's the natural order of things. It's the real math. It's the thing that's missing, and why people don't even know that everything is looking so fucking lopsided. They're just completely fucking oblivious from cradle to grave. I don't know. Look at the backdrop out of there and see Black Moon Lilith. She's one that's saying, no, I'm going to consciously have sex so I can have conscious children. Period. Who didn't need to get all medical about it right there at the end. But if I put the video up that wears this shirt also, like and subscribe. I'll try to edit it, I promise. These are going up in midweek of April, like 9th or 10th and 12th. This is the 3rd. So I'll say right now, imagine where I'm at now. If I really need to get a donation into me, it's I can't stress more how I need this time of rest and rejuvenation. But see, because you're probably not getting it, but everybody needs this. Yeah, because of the way that you will be energized when Mars moves into Leo. Everybody is going to just get up and start cleaning and doing what they need to do. We are all kind of unable to do it, let alone because of the retrograde with Mercury. But Mercury is going to go forward on the 7th. And so, yeah, sorry about the late, these videos being strung out so, like, beforehand. I know it's kind of useless. I would rather make them up to date, and I'll try to do that. There's a reason why I'm doing it. I'm seeing that something, and it's kind of disturbing, of course, and I think the more disturbing that it gets, the more that we'll be on our way, babe, because this isn't my world. This isn't my place. And you come here, there's only much time to say, excuse me, but maybe there's another, maybe there is outer space and there is so many different worlds, and you go there based in your ability to loop good memories and hold on to good feelings, right? There's a good feeling place to go. So, see, that method, I don't have a problem with it. It's called law of attraction. As a musician, I know that. I'm not confused about that. No, you don't hang on to the bad notes and hang on to the discord and the stuff that doesn't make you feel good and stuff. That's music is a higher learning tool. It's probably one of the most potent ones that opens both sides of the hemispheres of your brain. You're literally in communication with the universe and or God there. If it was that just that simple uh, example of learning how to learn what's worth holding on to as memory and then playing it as a song, because you are a song, you are a melody, you are a memory, I guess, as a people. You know, people are wondering who people are. And that's exactly it. Most of them aren't doing good memory. They are masking a crock of fucking shit that's steaming in there. And the ideal is to become clean as a whistle, as a mind. No fucking thought whatsoever. You are this moment now. See, I didn't just say that you don't have a bookshelf of the great memories that you're creating because you have chosen to be fully present, not only present, but just choosing love with it, which I mean it's just pure awareness and saying, I love you, I accept, and how can I be there? You know, how do we celebrate this fucking thing? See, it's different than a rock. It's different from one rock, like than if you're a human being or a cat or a stick of sage. It's all consciousness here, though. But see, the peculiar thing is the human aperture, the human experience, the human being. How that they're all intrinsically part of the whole thing. See, very controversial. But the universe is 100% human. If if they weren't here, none of this would be here, babes. It's the classic peekaboo with kids. You know, why are we talking about this, Shauna? Can you not? Well, no, this is where we're at. 0 point. You know, you're holding the universe in your hand. What are you gonna do with it? Me? Hmm. 那就去看，那就来了，把噜噜七，偷偷的把你哦。I need help. Um, we all need each other, and we can't be with each other. It's sad. What are we going to do? See, I say we stick to this, and we realize that if the way we free each other up now, if it's about money, then why don't we figure out how to open up a big giant a socialized bank? Because right now it's privatized. Now I picked up on some information. So it was sent to me like right here, I looked at it and I just didn't understand the language. It was the guy talking too, and I just don't know if he was correct or not, really. But talking about how that we're not supposed to own anything here. If you really want to have access to everything in the world, worldly things, do not own it. If you have a lot of money, if you have enough, I don't get this. See, I'm just going on what I heard and thinking I'm understanding, but I wish I could hear more of it because it's how they are doing it. See, it's how they get away with not even paying taxes somehow. Is that they don't the way that they're reporting it, the way that they're putting it and they're filing it in as now what I'm understanding is as a trust fund. I'm sorry, I don't know much about this. I don't, but I'm just curious because if you do have close to $1 million or so, $500,000, like to make it work in such a way where now you have worldly wealth, like maybe it's just your car, but you're doing leases or something, but I don't know, never mind. God, 36, and all this is right here when you're hearing this is somebody who's trying to figure out how to solve the problem of being enslaved to money. Now, what I come up with is because it is an enslavement. A lot of people don't want to be free. They don't know what it is to be free. They don't know that freedom is responsibility hand in hand. I mean, responsibility, great responsibility, is just another word for freedom. So, I just got rid of 80% of people. Oh God, I don't want my freedom. They don't want responsibility. They're like, just tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. And they love their illness. They love their limitation. They love their illness. They love their looping shit. And they might be doing that with their stuff that they have. They're losing it, then they're gaining it. They're losing it and they're gaining it. Right? That's like the story of a lot of people's lives. Tell me, what are we looking at, babes? See, for me, not really, not me. I don't do that status quo. I don't do what 80% or 92% are doing. No, I don't. No, I'm very different, and I start trends too. But with us being isolated, when I say us, there's other people like me on this plane. Believe me. Very isolated though. You want to talk about what is left after 92% are over there doing a backdrop and getting lost. Really, um, there's another percentage that sits here and just you have no idea. We are on YouTube. We're talking about healers, and we are actually prepared. Like we already got ready, right? For what? Well, guess what's going to happen now? Um, Astrology kind of shows it. We are right to be still in repair mode. We are right to feel like that we can't even move right now. Don't think that you're wrong for feeling like that you can't seem to get anything done. Don't force anything upon yourself that is going to avoid you from getting your download. See, it's coming up when Mars opposes Pluto on the 19th here. Well, it's shortly after the 19th. Well, the opposition will happen. That's when Mars goes into Leo, and that's going to be a big enough surge of energy. But that's when it is starting to oppose Pluto. But when it does an exact opposition, it happens at 3 degrees. And I'm witnessing people. See, they don't do astrology, and they don't know what I know, and they don't know half the shit that they should know is that there's spiritual warfare, and the people that are programmed as control freaks that are not connected, but they're getting energy from people by enslaving them or just causing them misery. They're flaring up right now. And now that scenario that I just mentioned, it's like, yeah, the government, you mean, Shauna, the government? Yeah, no, but no. It's the people around you now. That's how bitchin' the government is. They have reduced it down. I mean, we think that there's that presence has now they're off of the planet. They're like, now let's just remote control this. From one household to the next, there's oppressors. There's people keeping you. And see, there's where I get back to this thing and I say, and this right here, if we figured it out, this is the problem though. See, we haven't figured it out yet, so they'll never turn off the electricity. You know how there always been. They do manipulate it just because they're jokers, and they are the government that wants to cause us misery and keep us thinking that this is horrible when really the best thing that can happen is they turn off your fucking electricity and then figure out how to make it yourself. So many things that you're doing around here that you won't believe is generating electricity. And then water too, figure out how to live here in your neighborhood. See, what I'm saying is that if you figured out what social media was really for, is to open up your own socialized economic forum with trying to figure out the information that I was relaying with you to you about, like, well, why do you think you need to own things privately here? It's so weird because they call the public roads public when they're really actually private. You don't own those, and you're being taxed by something, and you're saying, well, that's us, and it's like, no, that they enslaved people to do it anyway, and they're paying taxes too. I mean, at what point do we get a fucking vacation? Let me open this window for my cat. So anyway, as you know, I just don't know what I'm talking about, but that's just sometimes we try to jump ahead of ourselves. We can only move as fast as how that we get our downloads. And I know that that's what's happening with me. But the problem is there's a window of time, and it becomes too late. See, you can see that how that it's just being churned down, and in the meantime, there's an industry that is, in fact, this is a combine collecting wheat instead of it being wheat, it's collecting perfect opportunity of human flesh here. Just file them in, file them out. Some might make it to the table, and that's the royals. They're going, yeah, we love human flesh. Minute 41, sci-fi, strange shit coming on. I try not to get into a negative emotional state. We don't want to feed any of the enemy within or without our bodies, you see. And I've been doing that. I'm getting like more and more compassion for myself. I'm trying to do it myself, which I shouldn't. I need to like reach out and say, come on, you guys. Hello, I know nobody has money. Fuck it. I am so. See, this morning, it's April 3rd, but I'm gonna discipline myself to just put this later on date. Um, I woke up I just completely given up. I'm experiencing a Truman Show kind of thing where, okay, so it's really important that we communicate, that you find people that you can align with. You only align through communications, and that means you have a life of productivity using your resources together instead of possibly getting undermined and not being able to go anywhere with it, right? See, that's the difference between you connecting with the right people and the wrong people. And it could be just one person, right? And it's nothing. It's not nothing that. See, I've been practicing protecting myself all my life, and I think that some people can't believe it. Um, uh, I don't want to like. I keep pointing out. I mean, the neighbors, the first ones that came in, and they turn out to be just like the usual. I understand it. Okay, we're not. So you don't know how to be friends. Okay, fucking fine. There's only two types here. There's the types that can be anybody's friend, man. They are the good friend. They don't have any enemies. And let's get back to talking about that type. They have people that are envious and jealous and try to shut them out. If the good friend gets a little bit down and slightly invested in depending on somebody else to be there for them emotionally, they're doomed around people that are incapable of being a good friend. Yep. Yes. Rewind that and keep playing it because that's what you've been through, and that's kind of what humanity is it's flaring up. And what's also flaring up is the leaders who know how to communicate. Aries are big communicators. Aries is the ones that they're just going to say, excuse me, and fuck you. Oops, sorry. They say it and just ask questions later and say, no, look, why? Because they were wrong. Sorry. We know because our nerves. It fucking gets on our nerves. We're playing fair, and it's like, well, actually, you're not even playing fair. My cat, she's wondering, God, are you going to be okay? Yeah, I'm okay, sweetie. I'm I'm hoping. See, I just I cut off some work that I was supposedly supposed to be doing, but see, I didn't like the vibe of the people. I felt that they were bossy, getting bossy, and they were being unreal. And I am during this Mars transit, especially when it's. I was trying to tell you how it's going to be squaring my Mercury, and if you hear this, hi Kim Cass, I'm sorry that you know it's tiring, right? You can't keep donating, and you shouldn't have donated so much. I mean, really, it's about me trying to get my better vibrational frequency to if I think I'm going to make any kind of money here, right, to just tap dance for people and make a better show. But see, oh God, getting back to it, babes, we have to learn how to selflessly give to each other. Now, I'm saying on my Facebook page, I'm about to open up a comment and say, no, look, and it hasn't happened for me yet, and I want it to happen. I want it to happen because we are wasting our lives on our social media pages. I've been there for 12 years. Um, and I didn't waste my time. I found something very real that's remarkable, and it's interesting to see where it's going to go without knowing our true language. And anyway, and the real math behind it, and uh, the natural order of things, creation of creation, sacred geometry. It's out there. You see, we could all tie it together. I'm being told by my higher up that no, you just wait and you will be able to apply it. Just wait. And it's hard to wait. So, but no, yeah, because in the meantime, here we are needing to pay bills, right? And well, I just had a withdrawal automatic on my from my cell phone. It's only $30, but I only had $10 in the bank, and so now it's overdrawn $20, and then they can add it in. They can do a penalty in 2 days. See, I'm not going to help myself with that. I'm not asking for help anymore. See, I am emotionally drained. Doing astrology is a very spiritual thing. It's actually draining because the way that you do it, it's kind of like a lawyer. That you just be selfless and you just tell the person what you see under universal law, though. I mean, astrologers are special people. That and charging $25. See, what I'm getting. God, I hate talking about this, but I am going to talk about it. I'm just going to post it. I'm getting people that are getting a service first, and then they're going to like pay me later or something. And they boss me around about it. They're like, well, can you just give me a blah, 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 blah? And it's like, oh, yeah, okay. No, you haven't given me any money yet, you fucking asshole. My thing on my fucking, and it's like this, babes. People charge $100. Really, people charge $1,600 to do counseling. That, you know what astrologers are doing? That psychologists can't do? We're looking at your fucking dirty laundry that you fucking think you're gonna hide. You're doing self-deception now, huh? You have a fucking Venus square Neptune all of your life? Wow. So how long is it that you've been treating the feminine or women like this? It depends on if you're a man or woman. And you've been getting married after marriage, and you just realize that love isn't that way, and you just really haven't really found love. And what happened now? You're here for me. Well, see, if you're a psychologist, they're not going to get that deep. They're going to rob you, and they're going to say, "And you're here for what?" A lot of them, they'll ask, and they'll tell you. The patients say, "No, I just need a good friend to talk to."